So I went out this afternoon, it was sunny, and I thought I'll do a little video when I get back, and then forgot it gets dark within like 3 minutes of the sun starting to go down, and I was down the beach flying the drone around. So I've just been out with the Mini 4 Pro, a little bit breezy, and I thought sunshine, might be a good sunset, and as I was driving along the seafront, the sun was out, obviously, and I looked when I was driving along, and I was like, oh, massive clouds. So you know where you get the horizon and the sun's going down, just huge amounts of clouds. And I thought, oh great, that's going to be rubbish then. But it wasn't too bad, actually. So yeah, I flew about 1,000 meters or so along out to sea, on the sort of coastal edge as such. Got the pier, and then flew around and got some other bits and pieces as well. So anyway, this is the video. Thought I'd try some artistic stuff, and there's also some people. You've got like a sea wall, like a harbour arm as such, and people were obviously down there watching the sunset, and they're taking pictures with their phones and stuff. So I actually flew up behind them, still over the water, and got to the height where the sun was the other side of them. So it looks quite cool. It shows you how quiet the Mini 4 Pro is, because hovering 20 feet, maybe 30 feet behind them, no idea it was there. Like absolutely no reaction. Even when there was a young couple, I don't know if they're a couple or not, but you know, a guy and a girl decided to clamber on the rocks, and I flew right in front of them, and they still no reaction whatsoever. So it shows you how stealthy the little drones are. And you can actually get some shots that are quite cool because people aren't reacting to it. They're just busy doing what they're doing. So it's quite cool in that respect. So yeah, no, that was cool. Flew a couple other bits as well, which was good. You know, it was cool. I only had 2 batteries. One battery had 20% left in it, so because I didn't have time to fully charge all 3. So I'm quite tempted to buy some kind of car charger. I have got charging in here. I've got a USB-C, but it's not like fast or anything. I mean, it's like 2.4 watts or something, but it'd be quite nice to be able to get a more powerful fast charger of some sort. Would be quite good, I think, just so you can keep the batteries topped up. So anyway, I'm gonna go indoors now because it's dark, and yeah, I'm gonna do some editing. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the little video. Did I say I might do a bit of a voiceover? I might just do a bit of music. I don't know yet, but here's the video anyway, and a few of the photos as well, which I'll probably discuss as well. So all taken on the DJI Mini 4 Pro. Anyway, catch you later. So a little bit of a voiceover, and as you can see here, Hastings Beach in East Sussex. So this is the Rock and Oar end, where you have the fishing boats to your right, shooting straight into the sun. They're giving me a bit of a almost a silhouette look, but the water and everything looks cool. You got a little bit of shadow off the waves. The sea wall there looking pretty cool. Unfortunately, they kind of filled it up with big rocks and stuff, because it used to be kind of cool with like arches and things on it, but it wasn't doing a particularly good job, I don't think, anymore. So they've basically beefed it up, probably about 10 years ago now or so, but it you know, still looks quite cool in reality, but not quite as good as the old days. Just flying out to sea a little bit there, and I turned around just to look at the light coming back. I have colour graded these slightly, just out of interest, a little bit of a play with them. Was it a 709 LUT with the cinematic filter, basically? So tweaked it a little bit here or there, and just experimenting really. So when I do videos like this, you know, they're not for anybody in particular. They're basically just practice, you know, and just for artistic enthusiasm really. You know, just get out, fly the thing. You know, it's enjoyable. I mean, if you've got a drone, you'll know what it's like. It's fantastic, you know, be able to do cinematic kind of looking things, or you know, just flying and just enjoying the scenery that where you are, and it just gives you another view, doesn't it, of what you can't see normally whilst being stood on the ground. So it makes a huge difference in what we can capture basically. And with the Mini 4 Pro or the Mini 3 Pro or any other make of drone that is that sort of size, with the lack of needing a license and stuff like that, it's you obviously got to register it and whatnot, but it makes flying very easy. You can fly it pretty much anywhere within reason. Obviously, you can no-fly zones you can't, or military bases or airports and any other restricted areas. But in general use, you can fly it down the beach or sunsets, over a town, whatever you want to do, and as long as you're not causing any trouble, you've got nothing to worry about in reality. And obviously, if you're flying sensibly and not being an idiot, it can give you some really cool views. It's just, I love it. I've flown drones for probably, I think since about 2012. I think it was that whenever the Phantom 1 came out for the DJI, had that. So I've been flying for quite a few years, and the Mini 4 Pro for me is ideal. It's tiny. I want to be flying in fair weather anyway. I don't want horrendous weather, so I'm not really too bothered. But I do fly up 20-25 miles an hour, winds, gusts or whatever. So yeah, it's a very, very usable bit of kit. So this is an ungraded little bit of footage here. As a photographer walked past me when I was just sort of in the boot of my car, kind of just getting the drone out and everything, and I noticed he had a camera out obviously around his neck, and he was out snapping, and he's just taken a couple of shots of the sun going down. And I flew up behind him, and I think he spotted me, but he wasn't too bothered. I wasn't too close. I'm using the zoom on the drone there, and it was just cool because you could see he's looking at it, and I thought, well, hopefully that can be a nice little clip. I put it onto Instagram with a little bit of music and everything. It was quite cool, and then just back out like so. And it's just quite a nice thing. And then actually, luckily, he just started to walk, and I thought, brilliant. He's heading back, and that kind of tells a very small story. That as a photographer out snapping pictures of the sunset, and you can then see some of the scenery. So it's fantastic. Just flying backwards or whatever, and bringing it back to where I was. So that works. And here is the sort of silhouette I went for. So I sort of went for a bit dark, added some blacks to it, up the colour slightly on the sunset, and just left it that really. Didn't do a huge amount to it, cut it a little bit for the actual Instagram post, but on this I've just left it as the same clip as before, so you can kind of see the difference. But obviously you've got so much control, you can do whatever you want really with the colours and everything. But just trying to, anybody who's got a drone or was getting a drone maybe for Christmas or whatever, it's just get out there, fly it, learn how to fly it, be confident with it, but don't be silly. And one tip I always took on board with one, he was actually a helicopter pilot, but he also flew drones. And he said to me, Stu, he said, one thing when you're flying your drone, and, touch wood, I've not hit anything. I've not crashed. And he said, fly it like you're in it. If you're in it, you wouldn't want to crash. So think about cables, wires in, trees, obstacles like lampposts and things like that. And, just be sensible at where you're flying and all those sort of things. You can still get some really cool footage. Just don't take the risks that you might do if you're just being a bit of a silly moment. So things like that lamppost there. I just saw a motorcyclist and I thought it sounded quite a cool bike, so I thought I'll fly over there, see what he's up to. But things like those lampposts and stuff you have to be a little bit aware of. Obviously the fence, or whatever you want to call it, the railings, signs and things like that. And a good few years ago I did actually crash once into a load of grass, luckily, missing a sign because I was flying sideways flat out, and the road and the ground level rose, and I just crashed into the grass. So yeah, a bit of a learning curve. Again here, an ungraded clip, and then a graded clip there. I've added, changed the colours very slightly and added a bit of thing. And that was the young lady who was basically stood there. And I went relatively close. I mean, I didn't go close at all, but, I'm still 15, 20 feet away. I had no idea I was there. I think the lad on the left might have spotted it, but, no real noise pollution to anybody or anything like that. Didn't even notice. So there we go. It's just a case of just experiment. This one here I quite like. The problem is you're shooting straight into really harsh light, so you will naturally get a bit of a silhouette into the darker shadowy areas, which they were literally where the sun is. You actually are pretty much in shade anyway, so it's pretty accurate really. But flying the thing is so nice. It's just a really nice thing, especially with the RC2 controller. No issues with range or anything like that really. And I would never really fly it more than 1,000 meters generally, with the line of sight and everything. But it's just a case of just be sensible and enjoy it at the end of the day. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. It was just a bit of a random one really. I just thought I'd go out for a drive, and I chucked it in the car thinking might be a good sunset, might not. It was quite a nice day, and glad I went down there. There was 2 or 3 different places I thought about going to. But again, now we're into winter months, the light, if it is good and it's not raining or miserable, the sunlight is up and then down very quickly. So like I said, at the beginning, you lose the light very, very quickly. So that's why I generally prefer, in reality, a sunrise, because you start off with no light. It gets really nice and pretty for a few moments, and then it's daytime. And then you can go and spend the rest of the day snapping. So anyway, please click the subscribe button, little notification bell as well. And I'll see you soon for another video. Cheers.